The morning at the Priya Palace did not begin with the usual grace of a royal household. Instead, it opened with a sharp, cold question. Rakhi stood in the grand foyer, her eyes scanning the empty hallways. She turned to Priya, who was standing by the window, her silhouette stiff and unyielding. "Priya," Rakhi asked, her voice echoing in the vast space. "Where is Rohan? I haven't seen him since last night." Priya did not turn around. She stared out at the gardens, her voice sounding like breaking glass. "He is in the jail, Rakhi." The technology, the accusations, they took him. The air in the palace grew even heavier, thick with the scent of expensive perfume and the stench of old rotting lies. Nisha moved silently through the grand hallway, her hands busy dusting a porcelain vase, but her eyes were fixed on the stairs. She watched the two women, each click of the clock sounding like a countdown to a disaster the Oberoi could no longer prevent. "Maya, I am deep inside," Nisha whispered in the silence of her mind. "The trap is breathing." The mask of concern. Across the city, at the police station, the atmosphere was frantic. Maya stood amidst the chaos, her expression a perfect mask of concern as she faced Shreyas and Akshodaya. "Sir, what happened?" Maya asked, her voice trembling with feigned worry. "How did they end up here?" "The family is in shambles." As the brothers began to explain the suspicious technology charges that had landed their father behind bars, Maya lowered her head. To them she looked devastated. In reality, she was hiding a cold, sharp smirk. Her mind drifted back to the night it all began, the night she entered the palace not as a friend, but as a debt collector of the soul. The ghost in the study, it was a night of shadows. Priya and Rohan had been walking toward Shreyas's room, their voices echoing as they planned to have their son give Anushka a tour of their office. They didn't see the shadow that detached itself from the wall the moment their backs were turned. Maya had slipped into Rohan's study with the grace of a ghost. Her heart was a drum of sadness and anger, thudding against her ribs. She moved toward the desk, her eyes landing on the technology that the Oberoi used to manipulate the world. With trembling but steady hands, she clicked the images, the digital proof of their corruption. "This is for my father," she had whispered into the darkness of the room. "This is for the life you stole." The masterpiece, back in the harsh flickering lights of the police station, Maya turned away from the desk. She had heard enough. Every word the brothers spoke confirmed that the evidence she had planted months ago was finally doing its work. The suspicious technology wasn't a mistake, it was a masterpiece of her own design. Later that night, in the quiet of her hideout, Maya sat before a glowing screen. She stared at the digital photo she had taken in Rohan's study, the same one she had anonymously leaked to the authorities. The Anushka mask was gone, leaving only the vengeful Maya Desai. "The technology was suspicious because I made it that way," she said to the empty room. "One down, 3 to go." She reached out to a chessboard sitting on the table. With a slow, deliberate flick of her finger, she knocked the black king, the piece representing Rohan, off the board. It tumbled into the shadows of the floor, forgotten and defeated. The game was no longer a secret. The fire had begun,